Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Jamie Rock, and here's what's making headlines on News 5. A quiet farm in Orange Walk becomes the scene of a brutal murder. An elderly woman is bludgeoned to death, and her caretaker leads police straight to the body. In the High Court, a split verdict in a double murder trial. One man convicted, the other walks free. The Sargassum crisis near Ambergris Key is getting worse, with dead fish now washing up along San Pedro's coast. The Social Security Board opens up about its finances at today's SSB Connect Forum. And finally, a powerful message of hope lands in Belize. World-renowned speaker Nick Vujicic, pronounced Vujicic, wraps up his Latin American tour right here at home. These stories and more are coming up in 60 seconds. Stay with us. News 5 starts now.
Easy, accessible, safe, yours. Digi Wallet, easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Welcome back. A quiet village in Orange Walk has been rocked by a brutal murder. Police say 68-year-old Estelle Trapp was found dead inside her home in Miller's Bight, near Santa Marta Village. The shocking part? Her own caretaker, Eugene Ramirez, reportedly confessed to the killing and led officers straight to the scene. Tonight he's in custody, and investigators are trying to piece together what led to this tragic end. News 5 has the details.
This quiet farm in Miller's Bight was home to 68-year-old Estelle Trapp, who lived alone for the past 4 years until her life was tragically cut short early this morning. Police say her caretaker, Eugene Ramirez, called them twice before they finally found the property around 7:15 a.m. When officers arrived, Ramirez was waiting by the roadside and led them straight to the house. Inside, they found Trapp's body on the bedroom floor, covered with a purple sheet. She was dressed in a floral nightgown with visible injuries to her face and head. A hammer believed to be the weapon was recovered at the scene. Now, investigators are trying to figure out what happened in those final hours and why Ramirez confessed. News 5 spoke with Trapp's only daughter, Daisy Smith, who shared more about her mother's relationship with the man she personally hired to take care for her and the farm.
I can't say when, but they found her body this morning.
When were you notified and what did they tell you?
About an hour ago, I was notified by my uncle, and he said that you gotta come now because they kill your mother on the farm. And I left immediately, and now I'm here.
Smith says authorities have not yet told her how her mother was killed.
No, they didn't. Up to this moment, I don't know. I have to go and check at the hospital and at the police station to get the full details of what transpired, I know that they have the person because he works here at my farm. He was living across the cement house, and my mother has a sick foot, so she can't climb stairs. That's why she lives over there. All they told me that they find her lying down on the floor, that's all. And when I asked if they could give me how she died and stuff like that, they say, well, I need to go at the station to get the sort of information there, no?
Do you know how they were notified?
They say they got a call and they react immediately. She has a lot of friends who pass through and hail her sometime. I guess someone must say stop and hail her and meet her in that condition.
Smith confirms that there were no problems with Eugene Ramirez and says the last time she talked to her mom was Wednesday and she did not mention any problem with the caretaker.
No, ma'am, we don't. The man to me was a good man. I still can't say anything bad about him because I don't know. I need to find out what really happened. I can't even say if I'm sure it's him because portray that person, portray the person that the picture that they're painting. So this time like a little rehab for him while he is here. But apart from that, being violent and stuff, I can't say that about the man. I do not know that about him. My mother is a very outspoken person. If she does not like something, she's not going to wait to tell me. She wants to tell herself. That's the person she was.
As police dig deeper into the investigation, Estelle Tropp's daughter is making a heartbreaking decision. Daisy Smith says she'll lay her mother to rest right on the farm where she lived and where her life was tragically taken. It's a final farewell on the land Estelle called home. Tanya Arceo for News 5.
Tonight, justice is split in the 2019 double murder of Dion Faber and Alan Martinez. Anthony Carballo Jr., 31, has been found guilty and is awaiting sentencing, while his cousin and co-accused Darrell Grant walked free. The two were charged for the broad daylight killings on San Pedro, where both victims, childhood friends from Belize City, were gunned down inside Faber's home. The case hinged on circumstantial evidence, including over 40 surveillance videos. One clip showed two men entering the house, then fleeing just seconds after gunshots rang out. While the actual shooting wasn't caught on camera, the footage, along with a detailed witness statement from Faber's now deceased wife, helped identify Carballo as the gunman. Justice Candice Nanton ruled that the evidence clearly pointed to a single shooter, Carballo. She wasn't convinced Grant was part of a joint plan to kill, and so he was acquitted. Carballo, who turns 32 next month, has a history with the law. He previously beat a 2012 murder charge, but now faces sentencing on October 6th. The court has ordered several reports, including a psychiatric evaluation and victim impact statements, before deciding his fate. Coming up, Sargassum crisis killing fish and livelihoods. More when we return.
The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Yo, what's up, bro? Just Western Union mom's a little money using DigiWallet. people in the States, pays me too. Same app. Using DigiWallet. Bro, this is too easy. I can do this from anywhere. No lines, no hassle. Just easy. Alright, gotta run, bro. Take it easy.
This is the new era of the Mexican Caribbean. A whole spectrum of colors and hues, multi-dimensional cuisine, holographic beaches. The true new era is within you.
Who will walk away with the $10,000 grand prize and bragging rights as KTV The Remix Season 7 champion? Will it be Darlene Usher, Maureen Boudram, or Samuel Carcamo? The judges have had their say, and now you get to have your way by voting for your favorite KTV finalist.
And oh, I'll see you tonight, yeah, in my dreams I'll be alright.
Always knew you're fake, wish you never fake. What's this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I shut my brain like this? Must it is hard, come it just can't quit. It's like I want but don't want you. What's this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I shut my brain like this? Must it is hard, come it just can't quit.
Under the moonlight we dance so free, with your heart next to mine, that's where I wanna be. Your smile shines brighter than the stars above. Oh my sweet darling, you're my one true love.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the grand finale of KTV The Remix Season 7. It will be a night you don't want to miss. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Bringing people together. Jamal Shine Barrow was deported to Belize today.
This is what you get
when a child never grows up.
You filming me, sir? I'm just saying, why are you filming me on my phone? Why are you filming me? I'm asking you.
When an immature teenager is given everything they don't deserve.
I wasn't going nowhere but the puff. They were made for each other. It was about $2 million, minimum.
Even after a decade behind bars, that child still hadn't grown up, but he kept getting spoiled.
Through the orchestration of his father, they put him in the UDP's strongest seat in the country.
That is how you end up with a spoiled child pretending to be a politician.
We're sick of this. You're a straw candidate, sir. When your uncle moved from back you dropped down.
There is need for change of leadership in the party.
The same one that when they push on for leadership at the party where they cry, I tell them to be careful what you do because I smell one rot.
Shine Barrow. It's time you grow up and step down.
The Sargassum crisis in Belize is getting worse and fast. Every day, tons of smelly seaweed wash ashore and coastal communities are struggling to keep up. For months, residents and local leaders have been working non-stop to clean it up, but it just keeps coming back. Now it's a threat to marine life. On Thursday, more than 50 dead fish were found tangled in the Sargassum in San Pedro. This shocking discovery has fishermen worried about the future of our seas and the livelihoods that depend on them. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story.
If you've been to San Pedro lately, you know there's no escaping the sargassum. It's everywhere. It's clogging up the beaches, stinking up the island, and turning paradise into a mess. On Thursday, over 50 fish were found washed ashore, lifeless among the seaweed. And according to longtime resident Elita Arceo, that's just a glimpse of the damage being done beneath the surface.
Let's say if you walk to a particular dock, you will see 50 around that dock. Now, if you walk the whole beach, you just imagine how much you will actually see, right? And when Mr. Sanchez tells you by the channels, of course, because the channels always have currents. So that's where most of it is being diverted to, right? So when you see the more sargassum, it's going through the current, through the channels, and of course where you see hundreds of birds just eat up everything when it's dying. But of course, the babies are dying right now, right? So what will be left for tomorrow or day after or next couple of years?
Sargassum has also negatively impacted Belize's fishing community, who claim that fish are now fleeing the area. Rogel Sanchez, a local fisherman and tour guide, explains that since the sargassum has started piling in, it's become increasingly more difficult to attract fish to the area.
You could see the fish is not around to the reef or the channels. And the lobsters is already moved from the areas, They go more to the deepers, and then it's affecting a lot of folks, like all fishermen already, because we have the youth, they're diving very deep for doing hunting lobster or do spear fishing as well, So, especially in the reef, you could see the corals is dying, especially the corals. It affects us because we don't have no marine, species around.
The island has been doing its best to counter the influx of sargassum with daily cleanups. However, many businesses have had to hire extra staff for the job, which seemingly never ends.
There's several hotels or private homes have their own workers dealing with this, right? And basically just kind of like every day. There have been small groups, usually family or friends, that get together and go and help clean up a particular area. We're actually doing one of those tomorrow. We're going to go joining forces with the town council, and these are all volunteers to go help clean up. But if you clean, whatever you clean, an hour or so time, back again.
Sanchez also works as a local tour guide, but his business has been suffering due to the sargassum. Not only are tourists bothered by the look and smell of the plant, but many activities they book the tours for are hindered by the plant.
Sometimes go far Sometimes on the island, go where to Rocky Point, sometimes to get some sardines. And that took like almost an hour to get to our sardine, or we have to go to the west of the island too. And sometimes we do not get, the tourists get sometimes mad with us because, you know, they are counting the time where they're paying the time for doing fishing, no? So it's affecting a lot of us.
The residents are frustrated and are unsure when the constant cleanups will finally come to an end, but they're not giving up.
I'm sure that with somebody like, you know, you throw up your hands, like, oh my God, I just cleaned this and like 2 times worse. But, you know, the people here are very resilient. So like tomorrow we have a cleanup, and from all walks of life you go. And you go to a store, say, you know what, I want to buy a pitchfork, I'm going to go clean the beach. Oh no, the beach, no man, free, take it. Everybody wants to help, right? And that is the Belizean spirit.
As the cleanups continue, residents are hoping that a resolution can be made soon so that they can finally breathe a sigh of relief and look forward to the return of the beautiful beaches Belize is known for. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Belize has just hit a major milestone in its Blue Bond commitments, and the world is taking notice. Under the Conservation Funding Agreement, the country was tasked with protecting 25% of its ocean territory by year 3. And guess what? We've done it. The government recently proposed 1,600 square kilometers of ocean space as medium protection zones. That's 5% added to the 20% already designated. It's a big win for marine conservation. We spoke with the process lead at the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute about why this achievement matters so much.
On November 4th of 2021, the government entered into that Blue Bond Agreement, and sort of central to that Blue Bond Agreement is a set of conservation commitments that we made that take the form of milestones. There are 8 in total. And so to date, Belize has achieved 4 of 8, so we're 50% there, right?
All right.
Our latest milestone that we achieved, milestone 4, has to do with the designation of what we call biodiversity protection zones to cover a percentage of Belizean waters. Now the overall goal is up to 30% of our entire ocean space, and ocean space is always a cagey term because people say we have sea, right? But we wanted to give the term to the collective of all of the waters that Belize is the custodians of, that we own, and that includes what we call the sea, our internal waters. It includes our territorial seas and our EEZ, our exclusive economic zone. So we refer to the collective as our ocean space, and this comprises of over 33,000 square kilometers. And so the goal is to have up to 30% of that designated as a biodiversity protection zone. So some kind of protection. It can be either medium protection, which we know more locally as general use zones, or it can be high protection, which are more of the no-take zones. And so for milestone 4, we were able to increase our percentage from 20.05% to 25%. So it's more of an incremental step to reach up to 30. And so with the achievement of 4, like I said, we're at 25.05%, and we're now working towards milestone 6, which is the achievement of that up to 30%.
Expanding Belize's biodiversity protection zones is a big step, but it's only part of the puzzle. Acting Fisheries Administrator Rigoberto Quintana says it's just as important to boost enforcement in these areas. The good news is that funding has already been set aside to strengthen the department's presence on the ground. Quintana also breaks down what's allowed and what's off limits inside these protection zones.
These zones are multi-use zones where we would allow, will not fully restrict the activities of fisher folk. It's a multi-use zones that we have. Under the conservation commitment, we have a medium biodiversity protection zones, which are the general use zones in the marine reserves, and we also have the high biodiversity protection zones, which are the no-take. Presently, we still allow some level of use. For example, we'll allow sport fishing, catch and release in these zones. But it's important also for fisheries management purposes. So government has invested a lot of funding, especially under the government strategic strategic allocation to support the fisheries department and partners to ensure that there's more management presence, enforcement presence at sea. And presently, right now, we're developing the National Fisheries Enforcement Strategy. And it's a lot of work. We're also revising the entire fisheries regulation to ensure that it aligns with the Fisheries Resources Act that we updated in 2020. So it's a lot of work happening on the ground.
These bold marine conservation actions have the world watching Belize. That's according to Osmani Salas from WWF, who says the spotlight is now on us. And with the Prime Minister's recent trip to Mexico, where he signed a major biodiversity agreement, Salas believes Belize has a golden opportunity to boost both its ocean protection efforts and its economy. Here's how he explains it.
Belize is a coastal nation. Correct. And its economy is largely nature-based. So what do we have? We have our blue economy, we have our green we have our blue and green resources, and it's contingent on everybody, from the upper echelons of power to the communities and everything in between to manage and care for what we have. That's what we have. Our reef systems, we have the second largest in the world. I mean, that sets us apart. And the world is watching this region. Not to take it away from marine discussions, because this is why we're here, but just last week, our Prime Minister and the leaders of Mexico and Guatemala signed a Selva Maya cooperation agreement for the Maya forest. Everything we do on land impacts the sea. In particular Belize, where there's a small nation, and all our rivers empty out to our ocean. So it's all interconnected, and I think it behooves us and it's responsible for us as a people to look at the big picture, because this is what we have.
After the break, SSB unveils digital upgrades and strategic plan. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Los nuevos billetes de Belice presentan a héroes nacionales. Pero, ¿cómo reflejan los billetes el patrimonio de nuestro país? La nueva serie de billetes celebra las dos dimensiones de la moneda: un medio de intercambio y una representación de nuestro patrimonio beliceño. El Banco Central se compromete a mantener nuestra moneda no solo segura, sino también una fuente de orgullo nacional. Cada denominación presenta un tema del paisaje beliceño, incluyendo edificios históricos, atracciones arqueológicas y marinas, cascadas y ríos, aves y vida silvestre. Estos son una parte central de nuestro patrimonio nacional y un tributo a este lugar que llamamos hogar. Nueva imagen, mismo valor, nuestro patrimonio. Para obtener más información, visite www.centralbank.org.bz. Un comunicado del Banco Central de Belice.
walk away with the $10,000 grand prize and bragging rights as KTV The Remix Season 7 champion? Will it be Darlene Usher, Maureen Budram, or Samuel Carcamo? The judges have had their say, and now you get to have your way by voting for your favorite KTV finalist.
And oh, I'll see you tonight, yeah. In my dreams I'll be alright.
Always knew you're fake, wish you never fake. What's this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I shut my brain like this? Must it is hard, come it just can't quit. It's like I want but don't want you. What's this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I shut my brain like this? Must it is hard, come it just can't quit.
Under the moonlight we dance so free, with your heart next to mine, that's where I wanna be. Your smile shines brighter than the stars above. Oh my sweet darling, you're my one true love.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the grand finale of KTV The Remix Season 7. It will be a night you don't want to miss. Only on Greater Belize Media.
We just take the coast out.
Belize is on the move. The Coastal Road is now powered by Digi's ever-expanding 4G LTE Advanced Network. Now you can stream that music, track that storm, or stop to send that file. Digi 4G LTE has got you covered. Digi, leading Belize's digital transformation.
But you have personality flaw, and you have to correct a flaw.
You have interpersonal conflicts which erode your support base.
Yeah. Shine Barrow. Your constituents don't want you.
8 out of every 10 voters rejected you.
Your party doesn't want you.
The majority of the people in our party, we're sick of this. We're sick of seeing what's happening in our party.
Your own family doesn't want you.
It's well known in the constituency that Finnegan wasn't with you.
The Barrow thinking is along my line that there is need for change of leadership in the party.
Shine Barrow, if your own pa no want you, if your uncle no want you, what makes you think the people want you? It's time for you to grow up and step down.
The Social Security Board opened its annual public forum today in Belize City, and there was plenty to talk about. From financial updates to digital upgrades, SSB laid out its plans for the future. The spotlight was on the board's performance, and the numbers are looking strong. A $50 million surplus for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Acting CEO Jerome Palma says that boost came from a phased increase in contribution rates. But that's not all. SSB also rolled out new features on its online portal and unveiled its strategic plan for 2025 to 2029, signaling a push toward smarter, more connected services.
The most important highlight, I would say, is because of the contribution reform, we had an increase in our contribution income, and we have a surplus of almost $50 million at the end of the year, which goes towards an increased fund. We are very mindful that over the next few years, we will continue to expect an increase, and then by 2028, 2029, that's when our period of equilibrium will take effect, and we'll have to make some adjustments sometime before that.
What was the key contributor to that overall surplus?
The key contributor was the increase in the contribution rate. You would have recalled that there was contribution reform, and in 2024 now, the full increase to the 10%. So we saw an increase in that regard, and that was the main driver in terms of actually the surplus for the year.
So now the increase in contributions, is that being driven by those employed in the BPO sector perhaps, or what?
we have seen an increase in terms of that sector, and that has impacted positively in terms of the contribution revenue.
What else?
Well, there are other sectors that have improved. The general economy, we've seen an improvement. And then wages overall have increased. We are mindful that the contribution is a percentage of wages. So, for example, the increase in the minimum wage would mean that more people are earning more income, so the actual percentage has a positive effect on the contribution that comes into the fund. So there are many factors that impact it. I just highlighted as a few.
The Social Security Board is projecting a healthy surplus for the next few years, but that won't last forever. A recent valuation shows that by the end of the decade, rising retirement rates will push the fund into what's called a period of equilibrium, where income and expenses break even. That means no financial cushion. Acting CEO Jerome Palma says another increase in contributions might be on the horizon unless job numbers go up and investment returns improve.
What we have is an increase in terms of our expenditures over time. People are naturally going to retirement age, so we will eventually have more people that are retired. More retirees mean more payout of the fund. So if we don't make adjustments over time, we will not be able to meet that. At the current structure and setup, it means that we are stable enough for at least the next few years that there does not need to be an increase in the contribution rate to allow us to meet now the increase in the retirement benefit payouts that we anticipate. So it is a correlation. If the period of equilibrium then is that tipping point. It is essentially the point where the benefit expenditures matches the contribution and the investment income. It's like that ceiling. So the contribution reform adjustment had allowed us to continue on that upward trajectory to push the ceiling up a little bit more, move the timetable a bit more down, and then when you hit that period of equilibrium is when it matches. You're in basically, man, the expense and the income equivalent, and then there has to be an adjustment in the contribution. The last assessment, the last valuation, a trial valuation had indicated about the end of the decade, around 2028, 2029. Obviously, that is subject to change because you have, if we get an improvement in investment income, if we have more administrative efficiency, that's why the digitizing is so important. More administrative efficiency means that we're able to carry out the same function within the same pool that we have, so we're targeting that. And then also the growth of the economy, whether or not we have more people who are employed who can contribute to the scheme. That will also have a positive effect in terms of our contribution revenue and moving down the period of equilibrium.
Acting CEO Jerome Palma also gave an update on Social Security Board's investment portfolio. He spoke about returns that the fund is receiving from its investment in the David McCoy building in Belmopan and its investments in utilities. Palma also hinted at future investment opportunities being explored.
The investment portfolio, as our GM Finance has highlighted, is still split a lot in terms of what it was even from 2023. We're still very much invested in our utilities, BEL, BTL, BWS. Those are our main investments. We have investments in treasury notes as well. We have a few other loans into individual entities. The growth of the investment portfolio does depend as to the economy as well. What become the needs? We do have the PPP, the DLM building, that has had relative success in terms of take-up, rental income, and so forth. There are other initiatives that we're looking at that it may be too early to disclose and get into. And for us now, I say it with a lot of reservation because we have to do all our due diligence before we can move ahead with those things. But we do expect to grow the investment income and the portfolio. We're talking about an increased fund, 50 million surplus at the end of 23, 50 million again almost at the end of 24. It's up 100 million more in terms of the fund that we're needing to invest. And we have to now take our time to see how we can continue to develop that investment portfolio.
When we return, Nick Vujicic has a special message for Belize.
estás? Te acabo de enviar dinero por Western Union usando DigiWallet. ¿Usted puede creer que mi tía en México me pagó por la misma aplicación usando DigiWallet? ¡Qué bien! Sí, mamá, y es facilísimo. Lo puedo hacer desde donde sea, sin filas y sin estrés. Todo fácil. Bueno, mamá, te dejo. Cuídate mucho.
Use B-Bucks to purchase items at any Benny's location. Spend B-Bucks on items in-store after you have earned them. You can gift or transfer B-Bucks to another B-Bucks member or registered charity. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Oh man, one more stroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
The Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs has teamed up with the University of the West Indies to host an introductory training course to support the implementation of the Belize Disability Act. The act was passed in 2024 and guarantees equal rights, protections, and opportunities for persons with disabilities in Belize. This training marks a significant step in advancing its implementation. The one-day training aims to build awareness and capacity among professionals across various sectors, including health, education, social services, law enforcement, and civil society, so that they can effectively advocate for and implement disability rights. During the training, CEO of the ministry, Adeli Katsim-Sanchez, stressed the importance of education as a bridge between policy and practice. The act represents Belize's pledge to ensure dignity, equal participation, and full protection for persons with disabilities. He's inspired millions around the world, and tonight he's in Belize. Globally renowned motivational speaker Nick Vujicic is making one of his final stops on his Latin American tour, and he's bringing a powerful message of hope and resilience to DigiPark. Hosted by Life Church, the event promises to uplift minds and hearts. News 5's Brittany Gordon caught up with Vujicic earlier today to hear what Belizeans can expect.
He's faced life without arms or legs, but tonight he's standing tall in Belize. Nick Vujicic, the globally renowned motivational speaker, is here with a message that's touched hearts across the world. Born with a rare condition called Tetra Amelia syndrome, Nick turned personal pain into purpose, rising above bullying, depression, and even a suicide attempt. At just 19, he began sharing his story, and now he's bringing that same message of hope and faith to Belizeans.
We're all looking for the same thing. And so there are some countries that are prone to different problems as others, but the same hope is the same hope wherever we go. But Belize actually secretly has been a country I've always wanted to go to, and I promise, I don't say that with all the other countries. because you guys are like the top beautiful like beaches, you know, and sand and water and just beauty.
He will be speaking at a special event at the DigiPark in Belize City, which is being hosted by the Life Church. Pastor Cornedweck is inviting the public to either come out or tune in to the service via live stream.
Come out tonight. It's going to be a powerful, amazing night. And I just want to say that if you look around, you see a lot of hopelessness in this country. And I think that we have something happening tonight that we as Belizeans really need. And so just imagine having a gentleman like Nick without limbs coming and full of hope, right? And so there's no excuses for you not to have hope as well.
Belize is one of the last stops on Vujicic's 2-year Latin American tour. Through this experience, he's been able to inspire millions of people. He tells how he finds that connection no matter where he goes.
I think the people who hear my story connect more than anything with the fact that I know how it feels to have a broken heart. I know how it feels to be held back with fear. And people look at me and they see I have no limbs, and we can't imagine someone else's pain. I can't imagine your pain. I don't know what anyone else is going through, but we can all relate to a broken heart and feelings of hopelessness, experiences of bullying, and sometimes not even accepting ourselves for who we are.
His mission is to reach as many people as possible, spreading hope and inspiring faith wherever he goes.
I want everyone to know that hope is everything, and the endeavor and mission is to share the hope of Jesus with the world. Because if you share just motivation, resilience, values and attitudes, these are wonderful things to be taught in education systems if we can. But what is most important is faith, because without faith in God, we can't see broken pieces change into transformative, miraculous things that God really had in store for us.
Vujicic has 2 more stops before he wraps his Latin American tour, after which he plans to begin a tour of Africa. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Up next, how is Toledo Community College fighting bullying?
El regreso más esperado está aquí.
El ritmo que traigo es azúcar, azúcar para ti.
Cumbia Kings.
Mami, yo te vengo a decir las cosas tan lindas que tú quieres.
Cumbia Kings en vivo este sábado 30 de agosto en el majestuoso People Stadium Orange Bowl. La cumbia que marcó tu vida vuelve para encender la fiesta más grande del año. Cumbia Kings. General 75, VIP 150, Platinum $200. Una noche única, un concierto histórico. Boletos ya disponibles en Cuellos Distillery, Rustic Roof, Divari, Orange World Town, Marías Bake Shop y Coffee House, Amor Turquesa Boutique, Shell One Stop y la aplicación WePass, disponible en Android y iPhone.
Belize's new banknotes feature national heroes. But how do these banknotes reflect our country's heritage? The new family of banknotes celebrates the 2 dimensions of currency, a means of exchange and a representation of our Belizean heritage. The central bank is committed to keeping our currency not only secure, but also a source of national pride. Each denomination features a theme of the Belizean landscape, including historical buildings, archaeological and marine attractions, waterfalls and rivers, birds, and jungle life. These are a central part of our national heritage and a tribute to this place we call home. New look, same value, our heritage. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
RF&G encourages you to activate your emergency disaster plan to ensure safety and coverage for your vessel. We advise you to move your boat to higher grounds. If your vessel gets submerged, do not attempt to start after retrieval. Contact the claim department at 0800 RFG Help, or you can file a claim via WhatsApp at 670-8700. Then, immediately contact your marine mechanic to assess the damages sustained. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance.
Walk away with the $10,000 grand prize and bragging rights as KTV The Remix Season 7 champion. Will it be Darlin Usher, Maureen Budram, or Samuel Carcamo? The judges have had their say, and now you get to have your way by voting for your favorite KTV finalist.
And oh, I'll see you tonight. In my dreams, I'll be alright.
Always knew you're fake, wish you never fake. What's this feeling I'm feeling? Why am I shut my brain like this? Must it is hard, come it just can't quit. It's like I want but don't want you. What's this feeling I'm feeling? I shut my brain like this. Must it is hard, come it just can't quit.
Under the moonlight, we dance so free. With your heart next to mine, that's where I wanna be. Your smile shines brighter than the stars above. Oh, my sweet darling, you're my one true love.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the grand finale of KTV The Remix Season 7. It will be a night you don't want to miss. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. DigiWallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
This year, Greater Belize Media proudly walked away with 10 awards at the 36th Caribbean Broadcasting Union's Media Awards Gala. Among the wins was recognition for Sabrina Daly's weekly look on the bright side. This week, we flash back to the very story that captured the attention of judges in UNICEF's Child Rights Champion category, highlighting efforts to eliminate violence against children. Here's that story.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
I believe a bully is someone who doesn't love themselves to a certain extent that they want to hurt you, they want to make you feel bad about yourself.
Jeremiah Logan is a proud member of this year's graduating class at Toledo Community College. Known for his easygoing nature, he holds kindness and humility as core values. Ironically, these very qualities made him a target for bullies.
Well, my experience is that, because I'm a male, people would expect me to, as they say something at me, I would be a bit more rowdy with them, but I walk away. So for these reasons, people think I'm kind of soft, I'm weak or so, but I try to, be more on the upper side and not to engage myself with any kind of conflict.
Well, I'm really an outgoing person.
A similar experience was shared by Linnell Arzu, also a member of this year's graduating class. Bullies targeted her because of her skin color.
It was something hard to deal with because there wasn't much of my skin color where I used to live, so it was really hard fitting in. And I remember I used to try to go out of my way to make myself be seen or heard because no one really wanted to listen to me or hear my ideas, which was very brilliant. They would always say, oh, you're not smart, you're black.
TCC has a population of over 700 students. Vice Principal Joanna Monk explains that while the Wellness Center and counselors educate students on STIs, teenage pregnancy, bullying, and mental health, she collaborates with parents to address significant student issues.
They come to me when we have, much larger issues that we need to address, or we have to reach out to parents to problem solve difficulties that students are having. So we work hand in hand. Now, the Wellness Center, our counselors, they also do a lot of education on pertinent social issues affecting teenagers. I've noticed that it's a post-pandemic issue, particularly the amount of online cyberbullying has increased substantially since the pandemic. I think it was always, if you're my age, you always remember that there was somebody who was trying to steal your money or shove you around, and that was the bullying that we dealt with. But this is very different because this is saying horrible things about people, derogatory things that really have an impact on people's mental health.
Oh my God, what are you doing? You're such a nerd. Why did you do that? I'm just speaking facts.
The Ministry of Education, through its competency-based curriculum, champions innovative approaches to education, promising a more impactful learning experience.
Stop bullying, start elevating. Not everyone has a strong mind.
Althea Sanchez is an English teacher who challenged her students to confront bullying.
We were discussing a new topic, persuasive writing, and we were talking about the 3 appeals, ethos, pathos, and logos, and I wanted a project that highlighted the students' creativity and also highlighting a social issue that many of our students were facing. And at the time, a lot of bullying videos were coming about, and a lot of scenarios were coming about, and a lot of situations, and I thought, something to highlight that issue, especially with our students, because they experience it. I said, it would be a perfect time to actually showcase that and, send a message out to the school population that bullying is not okay.
Well, look who it is. Can you show the ugly fish?
Yeah, what's up, sir?
I don't know why you're even here. You're so ugly.
These 3 persuasive appeals are often used together to create compelling arguments and effectively influence the audience's beliefs.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.